Blast me to the mortal realms! It's time for the Mad Merlins review of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer, issue 19 by Hachette Artworks and Games Workshop. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Mad Merlins Stormbringer issue review. And today we'll be taking a look at issue 19, which brings us our first Stormcast named hero, Gardus Steelsoul. You see Mr. Steelsoul there in his hero's landing with his hammer and mighty Sigmarite blade. He's a fairly small piece model, but he is not push fit, so you will require a deluded builder's guide, and we'll take a look at that when we get to the build instructions. But before we get into anything, don't forget to, of course, like this video if you are enjoying the content, and subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't already, as it's the only way you can keep up to date with all my mad content. And feel free to drop yourself a comment down below. Let me know your favourite Age of Sigmar named character. For me, it has to be Grayseer Frankwell because I'm a Skaven fan. But he's been a bit quiet lately. But when it comes to Skaven, quiet doesn't necessarily mean good. So we'll wait and see what comes up for the future with the Skaven and the greatest Grayseer of all. But today we're going to be taking a look at a Stormcast hero. So let's go vertical and we'll crack open this issue. So here we have issue 19. And here we have our frame. We also have a 50mm base for him to go on. So we'll take a look at that first before we get into the magazine. So zoom in. And there we see Gardus Steelsoul in all his plastic glory. So we've got his loincloth there, his hammer, his sword, his shoulder pads there, looking quite nicely detailed. Main torso there. His leg, hip guards there, part of his cloak, which attaches to the rest of the cloak here, his breastplate, and we have a couple of heads. So if you don't like Philip Schofield, you can of course mask him up with a cool helmeted head option. Yeah, it's not the most flattering of heads. Whether it's the white hair and pale complexion, it just doesn't really work well. So I'm definitely going to be painting mine up, building mine up even with the helmeted head option. Yeah, there we go. Lovely, cool scenic base detail as well, where he's crashing down into it with his sword. So yeah, really cool. Right then, let's take a look at the issue. So, as we can see on the front, we got Gardus Steelsoul, so we're learning about him. We also learn about War Magic, and we learn about Sigmar and his Storm. So, full content to this issue: War Magic, Sigmar Storm, and faction about the Sons of Behemat. We have a collect, build, and paint article, all for Gardus Steelsoul. We have a play article for him with his rules. We have rules of the Beast's Skewer Killbow as well. Learning the basics on battle rounds, and we have our mission which Gardus gets to try out his powers in. So, War Magic, or War Magic, as the orcs would like to say. Orc magic is unstoppable, dangerous, and powerful. Even the wisest mages struggle to resist such savage spellcraft. So, it's kind of a as it's mentioned, it's a dangerous type of magic, and it tends to ebb and flow depending on how many particular orcs and or grots are in a vicinity. It then really gives the wizards more power. Yeah, it's a very interesting type of magic. It's very much a sort of much like the orc culture. There's the two sides. There's the might makes right and the stealthy, silent killing side of things. So yeah, each wizard will interpret the magic of the war differently. So here we have Weird Knob Shamans for the Iron Jaws. We have the Fungoid Cave Shamans for the Gloomspite Gits. And of course, we have our Potgrot and Swamp Caller Shaman for the brain gone dead. Crawl Boys, that's it. Oh, blimey. But yeah, there we have it. So yeah, the orc magic is very interesting. Like I said, it gets stronger the more physical orcs are about. It sort of like siphons from the collective orcs into the wizard and then brought forth in different types of spells. There's, as it mentions here, there's ones about clawing mists and stuff as well. And some of them will even buff their fellow greenskins. Moving on then, we have Sigmar's Storm, part of the history of the Mortal Realms. So Sigmar's Storm was a campaign that brought the Age of Chaos to an end and began the Age of Sigmar. Stormcast Eternals descended to the realms for the first time in an attempt to free them from chaos. So this is background about Sigmar's first fight against chaos upon creating his Stormcast Eternals. And here we have Sigmar himself with his hammer Gal Maraz. And yeah, he was pretty much fed up with chaos having all the fun in the world, in the Mortal Realms, and decided to, you know what, let's stop them having fun and we'll try bringing a bit of civilization back to them. And so he created the Stormcast and sent them down into various realms to fight for order and mortals within it. So we have a bit of background about the Age of War begins, and some of the other factions that rose up during this time. So we've got the Savage Orcs here, the Stormcast there of the Celestial Vindicators, one of my favourite Storm hosts, of course the Eternal Enemy of Chaos, and most recent of the ghostly factions, the Night Haunts. Although we do now have Ossiarch Bone Reapers, but this was at a time where there was a lot of death in the Mortal Realms, and so Nagash had a field day and created a brand new faction, the Night Haunts, and of course there was also the Soulblight Vampires and the Ossiarch Tyrants as well. Next up, we got a bit of background information about the Sons of Behemat. Gargants are the huge, brutal descendants of the god-beast Behemat. Few can match the might of these territorial titans. So yeah, Gargants, while they look man-sized, they tower above even some of the biggest buildings and fortresses within the Mortal Realms. As you can see, they're besieging a Sigmarite settlement, and the Stormcast are arrayed against them. And they are literally just wading through, smashing town, and taking arrows that would normally fell a regular mortal. But yeah, they are many size the height of a man. And here we have a few of the different types of Gargants. So Kraken Eaters have a tendency to eat various fish-like creatures, and the mighty Kraken Beasts. Beast Smashers possessed by the spirit of Gorkamorka. They tend to hunt down biggest monsters and smash them to pieces. War Stompers, so these are usually the leaders. They have big enjoyment out of battles. They love to charge into enemy fortifications and smash them aside. And we have the Gate Breakers. These are the Mega Gargants that are apt at taking down fortifications. Finally, the smallest of the Gargants are the Man Crushers and the Ale Guzzlers as well. Moving on then, we have Gardus Steelsoul's battle record. So, Gardus Steelsoul is a bringer of light and purity to the very darkest places in the mortal realms. He is one of the only beings to have walked through Nurgle's Garden of Corruption and emerge unscathed. He wields his faith as a weapon and is utterly dedicated to protecting the innocent. So, got a bit more information about Gardus here. So he is a warrior of the Hallowed Knights Stormhost. So he has a silver main armor with heavy gold accents and blue for like a spot color. So loincloths, shoulder pads are trimmed with blue. They're a very faith-driven force of the Stormcast. And Gardus is one of their greatest champions. We have a tick chart here for a d6 table for the reason he has joined our force in this particular fight. Then on the other side, he's chosen tactic for these battles. Then we also have our great deeds and epic deeds. So when he has achieved these in a battle, you can tick them off and prove that he is the mightiest of heroes. Next up is our build guide. So he is very simple to put together, but you will need glue as he is a full multi-part model. And it does mention to dry fit your components to make sure they go in the correct place and not to apply too much glue as well. Yeah, it doesn't mention about the spare head. Yeah, there should be a spare head. Clip it off and keep it spare for later, but I'll be using it myself. And then our paint guide, we can actually get a good amount of paint done on him because we have a lot of the colours we need. So we already have Lead Belcher, and that's the basic colour we're going to be painting the model in. Next, Abaddon Black is used for the joints and the soft areas of the armour. Retributor Armour, picking out all that gold trim. Contour Blue for the loincloth and the shoulder pad and his cape. And Wraithbone and Corax White is used for face, hair, and the rocks on his base. And that's how he looks at the moment. Don't glue him down just yet, as you are going to be adding a lot more details to him in later issues. And we are using Arax Earthshade to give the rocks a dirtied earth sort of look. But yeah, really good. Nice, simple paint guide, gives you a really well done model, all in all. Next up then is his rules, and he's pretty potent. So he is a move of 5, as most Stormcast are. 3+ save, 10 bravery, so he's the highest bravery you can get, and has a mighty wounds of 6. So he has his War Cloak, which he can fire off in ranged attacks for d6 shots, hitting and wounding on freeze, -1 rend and 1 damage. Then he has his twin weapons, the Rune Blade and Warhammer, so he gets 5 attacks of these, 3+ to hit and wound with, -1 rend, but they are 2 damage. He has the Aura of Purity, so any Hallowed Knights units within 12 inches of him have a 5+ ward save, so that does include himself. And he has Martyr Strength, so if he's destroyed on a roll of dice on a 2+, he can fight before he is removed. And we have Saintly Assault, so once a battle, at the start of your charge phase, you can declare a Saintly Assault. If you do so until the end of your turn, you can reroll charge rolls for the Hallowed Knights units wholly within 12 inches, and add 1 to their attacks for the melee weapons used. And we have a little bit more information about the Hallowed Knight chamber there. So we got tutorials as usual on the back, how his Aura of Purity works, his Martyr Strength, and Saintly Assault as well. Then we have the full rules for our Beast Skewer Killbow, showing how dangerous it can be. So the damage, you have to see the particular chart below, depending on how you have shot with the weapon. So yeah, he is a pretty good thing. It can take down big monsters quite easily if you are very lucky with your rolls. So yeah, we got pick 'em off and skewered as well here. So yeah, and a little tutorial about using loading grots. So before we get into our mission, then we have basic rules on how a battle round works. So a battle round is a complete 2 turns, so player 1 turn and player 2 turn. Each of these consists of the following phases, so hero phase, movement phase, shooting phase, charge phase, fight phase or combat phase, and then the battle shock phase. And then the battle round ends and you begin a new one. So, tutorial about making priority rolls. So depending on who wins the roll, will be player 1 for the turn. And there may be even the chance of a double turn, so that's pretty cool. And then we have our mission, the Soul of Steel, which features Gardus, the Lord Imperator with his Gryph-hound, Knight Arcanum, and 4 Praetors, so a very hero-focused force, with a bodyguard unit up against the Cunning Crew, Beast Skewer Killbow, 10 Gut Rippers, and 10 Hobgrot Slitters. So there's a lot of bodies between those heroes and victory. And we have our tutorial there for the turn. And again, that beautiful artwork of what's coming from issue 21 onwards. So more paints, more models, more scenery, and brand new battle plans as well. There's definitely some awesome models in this next wave that I'm looking forward to getting. The Arc Tree Revenant there, and Yilthrain's Hunters are the first of our Sylvaneth. I'm really looking forward to getting the Sylvaneth. We get some more Stormcast with the Archer guys and the second set of Vindictors, plus a load of Gryph-hounds as well. And we also get the start of our Gloomspite Gits. So we have Zarbag's Gits, some Shooters, a Loom Boss, and a Fungoid Cave Shaman as well. Plus, coming up soon is our Troggoth and a second set of Hobgrots. So, no surprise then, our next issue is a double issue. So this will be, I'll cover both issues in one video just to get it out of the way, because I'll be bringing you a special bonus video with the first of our special character packs. So we'll take a look at that in a future video. But like I said, next issue will be 20 and 21. So we focus on the Marsh Crawler Slogoth here. And we got some new backgrounds focusing on the Fire Slayers and the Realm of Magic there as well. So that was issue 19 of Stormbringer, and pretty good issue, some nice background to read through there, and of course a rather cool hero character for the Stormcast collection. So I'm going to be going ahead and building this guy soon and getting him painted up. So yeah, really cool. Looking forward to trying out a few games with him. So let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section down below, and don't forget to, of course, let me know your favourite Age of Sigmar character. And of course, don't forget to like this content, subscribe to the channel, and of course, click all the links in the description down below. But that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.